In the volcanic highlands of Kanto, where the earth breathes fire and the air shimmers with heat, lives a creature that defies natural law. A reptilian being born with a flame burning at the tip of its tail. A flame that must never be extinguished, for when it dies, so does the creature itself. Today, we venture into the scorching world of Charmander, the fire lizard whose existence challenges everything we understand about biology and survival. Welcome to PokeGeo. Fossil evidence suggests that proto-Charmander species emerged approximately 55 million years ago during intense volcanic activity across ancient Kanto. These early ancestors were small, heat-resistant reptiles inhabiting volcanic zones. The critical evolutionary leap occurred roughly 35 million years ago, when a radical mutation enabled the development of specialized cells in the tail tip capable of producing and sustaining combustion through biochemical processes unlike anything else in nature. Ancient petroglyphs discovered in Cinnabar Island cave systems, dating back 12,000 years, depict fire-tailed creatures remarkably similar to modern Charmander, suggesting early humans coexisted with these beings. The species' ability to produce and control fire internally has made it a subject of intense scientific scrutiny, with researchers still working to understand the complex chemistry that allows flesh and flame to coexist in deadly harmony. Charmander populations are found in volcanic and geothermally active regions throughout Kanto, with highest concentrations near Mount Ember, Cinnabar Island, and volcanic plateaus west of Pallet Town. These habitats feature extreme conditions, temperatures regularly exceeding 45 degrees Celsius, humidity between 15 and 30%, and terrain dominated by volcanic rock and sparse vegetation. The species thrives in harsh, arid environments where competition is minimal, but survival demands constant adaptation. Individual territories range from 1 to 2 hectares, centered around reliable heat sources like geothermal vents and caves that provide protection from rain, their most significant environmental threat. The Cinnabar Island colony, numbering approximately 300 individuals, represents the largest documented wild population. During monsoon season, populations migrate to higher elevations and sheltered locations where their flames can be protected from extinguishment. An adult Charmander measures approximately 60 centimeters in length and weighs between 8.5 and 9.2 kilograms. The body is covered in bright orange to deep red scales with a cream-colored underbelly. The defining feature is the flame burning perpetually at the tail tip, an external manifestation of the creature's core metabolism. Specialized cells called pyrocytes produce highly flammable biochemical compounds that ignite spontaneously upon contact with oxygen. The flame burns at 400 to 600 degrees Celsius, fed by continuous compound production regulated by blood flow. The creature's circulatory system features heat-resistant proteins preventing blood coagulation near the flame, while specialized keratin structures act as organic heat shields. Charmander can consciously control flame intensity, brightening when threatened or dimming during rest to conserve energy. Most critically, if the tail flame is extinguished, Charmander enters metabolic shock and dies within 6 to 12 hours, a phenomenon suggesting deep biochemical dependence on the combustion process for essential life functions. Charmander is primarily crepuscular, most active during dawn and dusk when temperatures moderate. Each day begins with morning basking near heat sources to raise core body temperature and strengthen flame intensity, lasting 30 to 60 minutes. Social structure is moderately hierarchical, with dominance established through flame displays rather than combat. Individuals brighten their tail flames to maximum intensity, with the largest flame securing dominance without violence. Groups typically consist of 8 to 15 individuals organized around central heat sources. Rain triggers immediate shelter-seeking behavior, with individuals curling into protective positions that shield their flames while maintaining airflow for combustion. Charmander never enters deep sleep. instead maintaining semi-alert states, allowing rapid response to flame threats, a survival adaptation with significant metabolic cost. Juvenile Charmander display notably more cautious behavior, instinctively staying closer to heat sources and showing heightened anxiety about flame size. As an obligate carnivore, Charmander requires protein and lipid-rich diets to fuel extraordinary metabolism, consuming approximately 30 to 40% of body weight in food per week. Primary prey includes rattata, pidgey, various insects, and occasionally fish from volcanic hot springs. Hunting occurs during cooler hours using ambush predation, with explosive sprints reaching 35 kilometers per hour over 20 to 30 meters. Older juveniles and adults produce brief flame jets from their mouths, stunning or killing prey from 2 to 3 meters, though this requires significant energy. The digestive system is remarkably efficient, extracting maximum caloric value with particular emphasis on fat metabolism, providing lipid base for pyrocyte fuel production. Charmander consumes specific volcanic rocks rich in sulfur and magnesium, which enhance pyrocyte function and flame stability. Water consumption is both essential and dangerous, requiring careful management to avoid flame contact. Individuals drink quickly from shallow sources, tilting bodies to keep tails elevated. During food scarcity, the species enters reduced metabolism, dimming flames to minimum sustainable levels and surviving approximately 10 to 12 days before critical organ failure begins. Charmander occupies a critical niche as mesopredator regulating small prey populations while serving as prey for larger apex predators. A single adult consumes approximately 100 to 150 small prey animals annually. The species occasionally ignites dry vegetation, creating small-scale fires that contribute to long-term ecosystem health by clearing dead matter and releasing nutrients. Though this has become problematic in drought-affected regions, predation comes primarily from large flying-type Pokémon like Fearow and Pidgeot, and ground threats, including Arcanine. Juvenile mortality is exceptionally high, with only 40 to 45% surviving their first year, primarily due to flame extinguishment during rain and early predation when flames are weakest. The tail flame attracts heat-seeking insects feeding on combustion byproducts, creating micro-ecosystems around individual Charmander. Abandoned burrows are frequently repurposed by other species seeking temperature protection, making them ecosystem engineers that modify habitats benefiting biodiversity. Archaeological evidence suggests ancient civilizations regarded Charmander as sacred fire spirits, with artifacts depicting the species in ritualistic contexts. Modern relationships are nuanced and often problematic. Charmander's charismatic appearance and fire abilities make them highly desired starter Pokémon, consistently ranking in the top 3 most requested. However, this popularity has driven tragically high abandonment rates, with inexperienced trainers underestimating demanding care, needs for heat management, specialized diet, and moisture protection. Approximately 60 to 70% of abandoned individuals die within 2 weeks. In regions with wild populations, conflict centers on fire safety concerns, with property damage leading to controversial culling programs in some areas. Some communities coexist beneficially, utilizing Charmander for natural rodent control and partnering with fire departments to study combustion behavior. Educational efforts have intensified to inform potential trainers about true commitment requirements, with some regions now requiring special licensing. Despite challenges, successfully bonded partnerships are among the strongest in the Pokémon world, with the species displaying remarkable loyalty and emotional depth toward trainers providing proper care. The first evolution into Charmeleon typically occurs between 14 and 18 months, triggered by accumulated experience, adequate nutrition, and significant challenges pushing the organism beyond current limitations. The metamorphosis lasts 72 to 96 hours, with metabolism surging and tail flames intensifying to 900 degrees Celsius. Charmeleon measures approximately 1.1 meters, weighs 19 kilograms, and exhibits dramatically more aggressive, solitary behavior. Coloration deepens to darker crimson, claws elongate, and the snout develops a horn-like projection. Territoriality intensifies, with individuals claiming 10 to 15 hectares. This adolescent stage lasts 12 to 24 months and represents the most dangerous period. The final evolution into Charizard occurs between 30 and 36 months, triggered by flame control mastery and intense emotional experiences. The transformation lasts 24 to 36 hours. Charizard stands 1.7 meters with wingspan exceeding 2 meters, weighs 90 kilograms, and possesses flight capability. The tail flame reaches maximum potential, exceeding 1,400 degrees Celsius when enraged. Behavior stabilizes compared to volatile Charmeleon, though Charizard remains fiercely territorial. The species achieves full reproductive maturity, with successful individuals living 45 to 60 years in the wild, with exceptional specimens surviving beyond 80 years. Charmander populations face severe threats from habitat destruction through geothermal energy extraction and mining operations. Kanto has seen 43% increase in geothermal development over 20 years, directly impacting prime habitat. Climate change increases extreme rainfall and monsoon intensity, devastating effects on populations, especially during breeding seasons, when a single extended rain event can wipe out entire year classes of juveniles. The illegal pet trade represents perhaps the most significant direct threat, with 800 to 1,200 individuals poached annually, facing 50% mortality during transport. Pollution, particularly acid rain, causes respiratory problems compromising flame production. Current status classifies wild populations as vulnerable globally, with isolated populations listed as endangered. The Cinnabar Island population has declined 32% over 15 years. Conservation efforts include the volcanic Pokémon preserve system, protecting 75,000 hectares across 6 locations. The Mount Ember Conservation Initiative has reduced juvenile mortality by 24% through artificial heat source installations. Public awareness campaigns featuring abandoned Charmanders struggling to survive have generated significant political will for stronger protection, with penalties for illegal capture increasing substantially. Charmander embodies one of nature's most beautiful truths, that life can be both incredibly resilient and impossibly fragile. This remarkable creature, carrying fire as birthright and burden, survives in environments that would destroy most species, yet can be extinguished by something as simple as rain. The flame at its tail is more than biological curiosity. It is a living metaphor for existence itself, constantly fed, carefully protected, and inevitably destined to go out. As we push into their volcanic homes and alter the climate they depend upon, we must decide whether we will be the rain that extinguishes these flames forever, or the shelter allowing them to burn into an uncertain future. Join us next time as we explore another extraordinary species, one that embodies the power of water in ways that challenge comprehension. This has been PokeGeo. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of our natural world.